We are back with a Fox News alert. All eyes on North Korea this morning as tensions reach a boiling point with the United States.
Kim Jong-un showing off his country's military arsenal and maybe on the verge of another nuclear test.
Gary Bernson is a former CIA operative who led the CIA's first paramilitary team into Afghanistan after 9/11. He joins us now to react. How would you assess the danger level right now with regard to North Korea, Gary?
Well, we have had many, many presidents that have faced off against the North Koreans over the years. Many of them have made the mistake of giving the North Koreans incentives not to have problems with us. Donald Trump is taking a different tact with him. He's not here to try to bribe him. Donald Trump is sort of changed the deck in a way and is holding a hard line against the North Koreans because, quite frankly, incentives and bribes have not worked, and multiple presidents over multiple decades have failed to slow down this machine, which is developing weapons of mass destruction and their ability to deliver them. So I support what the president's doing because what's been done in the past has failed.
So, Gary, what is the next step then? What hard line do we take next to prevent a nuclear capability and a payload able to be delivered against us?
Well, I think that, you know, the North Koreans have to be convinced, and I suspect that the use of cruise missiles in Syria is the first marker that the president has put down. You know, at some point, some president, some national leader is going to have to take a step with the North Koreans to diminish their military power in one way or another. And I think that the Chinese are going to have to be convinced that we do this because it's not in China's interest to have a conflict on the Korean Peninsula and have 20 million refugees pouring across their borders. So, and this is brinksmanship of what's going on right now. The other player, the really important player, is the Chinese, and convincing the Chinese that we will use military force if he does not stop. And the Chinese can cut him off from oil. Look, they provide 90% of the oil to the North Koreans, and hopefully that will be the thing that the Chinese will do. But we're going to have to enlist China's support, and if we don't, at some point, we may have to preemptively destroy some of his capability, and it could be a very dangerous thing. Yeah. But if we don't, he's going to be able to, at some point, he's going to create a nuclear weapon that is going to be small enough to put on a device that he could transport across the Pacific to us.
Serious problem.
Well, there's a lot going on around the world right now. Gary, you were one of the first CIA officers in Afghanistan to take on the terrorists after 9/11. Your reaction to this mother of all bombs that took out nearly 100 of the ISIS fighters?
First off, I compliment the president for putting those decisions in the hands of battlefield commanders. He has General Nicholson, has been out there about a year. His tour would be coming to an end, who's commanding U.S. forces out there. And General Nicholson's probably done 6 tours in Afghanistan. He commanded RC East, where this was. Look, the province of Nangarhar, where this device was used a year ago, last March and April, was the location where we fought for 6 weeks. U.S. aircraft supported the Afghans to drive ISIS out of that area already. So this is the second effort against ISIS in Nangarhar, and that fighting has been going on south of Highway 1 and in an area not far from Tora Bora, ironically, where we used the Blue 82 against Al-Qaeda back 16 years ago. So, you know, this sector is you know, right on the Afghan-Pak border, right up against the federally administered tribal area, right through Highway 1, which is the major road link into Pakistan. It's a key area.
And not as many terrorists there this morning after that.
Not as many this morning, so compliments to General Nicholson and his people.
Gary Bernson, thank you.
Thanks, Gary.